Good afternoon to all. All of you hearing?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay. PPT is visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Okay. Today we are going to discuss the course MIS 022, which is Industrial Safety Rules and Acts. So this course exclusively deals with the what are the rules and regulations and acts followed in the industry in related to the safety according to the Industrial Safety Act 1948. So we are going only the outline of the course. We won't discuss any in depth of the course because we are going to only discuss the outline of the what are the courses are covered in this subject. What are the contents and important topics are covered in the course. This course MIS 022 Industrial Safety Rules and Acts having the two blocks. So block 1 and block 2. The block 1 having the 4 units and block 2 also having 4 units. So block 1 we have that unit 1, unit 2, unit 3 and unit 4. So unit 1 it's discussed with the industrial acts and laws basics. What is that basics and information about the industrial act and laws. And unit 2 is the duties and responsibility of occupier as well as the factory managers. And unit 3 deals with the licensing and registrations of the factory or industry or firm or unit, whatever it is. And unit 4 is what are the various provisions under the Factory Act 1948 for the welfare of the employees. This block 1 this covers all these 4 units, and block 2 it's deals liabilities and responsibilities. So unit this block 2 also having the 4 units. So unit 5 deals with the liabilities of occupiers, and unit 6 deals the provision relating to the hazardous process. Unit 7 general penalty for offences. What are the various offences and what are the penalty for the respective offences, and various case studies for in industry. What are the various case studies held in that in past records and past that rules and laws, and so that the case studies are also okay. These are case studies in general. You can write the few present case studies also. If you read some industrial issues in the case in the newspaper, that also you can write in that case studies. So we are before going to enter that rules and acts, we should know the what is industrial safety, because you are very well aware of industrial safety because you are doing that rest of the course. So we know that industrial safety is a safety management practice or precautions for what to ensure the during the ensure the safety of the persons during the industrial and crucial situations. Crucial situation at industries. It's also that it's a policies and protections. Safety is also the policies and protections put in place to ensure the plant and factory worker protection from the various hazards in the industry. So industrial safety is here. We know that it's a multidisciplinary approach. It's not only the single point of view. It deals with different approaches. It scares at environmental safety, hazardous safety, health safety. So that various disciplinary approach there. So it's a multidisciplinary approach to developing and ensuring the compliance along with the regulatory agencies for Industrial Safety Act 1948 and provide a safe working practice and maintain the health and well-being of employees. These are the basics about industrial safety. So in this unit 1, it's an introduction to industrial acts and laws. In these units, you are going to learn that how the safety become important in industrial practice, what the need of safety, why that safety plays an important role in the industry, and understand the worker point of view toward the safety and accidents, how the safety is organized in large scale industries, and identity safety functions and workplace operations which need you safety precautions. So you have to find out that list out the various safety functions in the workplace and workplace operations. What are the functions and maintained during the operations? So in this, that safety engineering. What is safety engineering? Safety engineering is a combination of knowledge of engineering as well as the health and safety to develop procedures and design foolproof systems. So knowledge of engineering as well as the safety procedures, it's together to protect the people from injury and illness and even death in the factories. So this engineering part as well as the safety procedures, which both will help to protect the people from the injury, illness, and various accidents in the industries. That is called that safety engineering. And also it's protecting the premises along with the properties, machineries, equipments. So those who are working in that machineries, equipments, how they protect it. So ensure that their safety. Also that equally important objectives of the safety engineering. So is provide the safety to the properties, machineries, equipments. Also, that plays an important role in the safety engineering. So, how do you design the safety? So, before that, implementing the safety, industrial safety, we should go for design. If you for manufacturing any products, before that we have to do the design. Similarly, here also, before implementing the safety precautions and safety rules and acts, we should design the basics of the safety. The safety in the design, during the designing of safety, it have the 4 pillars. One is safety organization and safety training. Efficient and effective organization structures to ensure the safety and security. So the safety organization should define that it's how it's efficient, how it's effective organization structures, and to ensure the safety and security and safety training. So training is a more important for each and every sectors. Similarly, for industrial safety sector, also the safety training plays a more important role. So safety department should conduct the regular safety training during the periodical intervals and safety drills, the practical drills of the factory. Meanwhile, the workers also should take the necessary safety precautions as per the industrial safety rules and acts. So safety training is one of the pillar to design the industrial safety and safety legislations. So without legislations, rules and rules and acts, we should not design that any products or any operations, so that here it's the government should make the appropriate legislation for the industrial safety as well as the compensation. So if something happened in that industrial due to the accident, what are the compensations? Compensation based on the injuries. So that government is who is KD?
KD, mute your.
Who is that KD? Okay, let's continue. So safety legislation that we have to make the government has to make the appropriate legislations for industrial safety and commercial as per the Industrial Safety Act 1948. So similarly for the auditing is very important for each and every sector. Similarly for in safety also. So it should be audited every 6 months or at least once in a year. To shortcomings should be observed and should be rectified. If there are any shortcomings in the safety in the industry or workplace, so that should be overcome and should be observed and should be rectified. Otherwise the license of the factory would be cancelled. The safety audit not only ensures the safety environment at the factory, also assures the workman to work with the peace of mind. It's not only focusing on the physical safety, it also that ensure that it's mental safety also. So that these 4 pillars is a more important while designing the industrial safety. So the safety organization, we know that every industry having the different set of organizations, different set of structures, management structures. But whatever the may be, that the safety organization with well-defined objectives and well-identified the functions. And under the system of distributed responsibilities of safety functions, have often been reported corporate managers through the personnel and human resource department or operational office or legal office. Through the various sectors, if any deficiency in the safety, that should be reported to the higher authorities. Similarly, for that, such practices that have been often obliterated, the successful implementation of the safety program. If this procedure is maintained properly, the safety will be successfully implemented in the industry. So this is that safety organization. It's vary from different industry to the industry according to the level of the industry, size of the industry, or scale of the industry. So that managing director, executive director, or whatever maybe, then general manager of the safety. The safety department having that 4 different sections. The manager in fire safety, so which manager in fire safety deals at the property conservation, industrial and construction safety, material handling, and manager in environmental safety, which controls the environmental control, industrial hygiene, environmental engineering, ergonomics, and occupational health and safety manager, which includes that occupational safety health of workers or employers, and staff, physician, or nursing, because of maintaining the health of employers, and toxicology, what are the medicines need to be make available in the industry. And another safety section is that professional service, which manager professional service need to how to provide the training for safety persons, and how maintaining the data and preserving IT for that rules and acts, industrial safety, and how to provide the compensation by management, so that for according to the various types of accidents. So these are four safety managers. The safety sections are there under the safety general manager, and the topmost authority is the company directors. Safety training. So effective safety training plays a very important role for the each and every industry or workplace. The training, safety training is placed to describe the training materials and training modules design, which is used to train the people. So standard training materials mean the guides, various training materials, even for provide the proper training on various modules. It's level 1, level 2, level 3. So that's different types of modules for training. It should be properly designed, which is used to train the people and related to the occupational safety as well as and health standards, which is designed by the United States Government Labor Organization and Occupational Safety and Health Administration. It's shortly called OSHA. So based on that, this OSHA and the US Government Labor Organization, the effective safety training has been trained for the trainers. These are the universally applicable and adaptable to any nation. So that every nation, they're following the OSHA models, training methods, as well as United States Government Labor Organization training methods. The training model, it's focusing on determine what type of training is needed. It's varying from industry to industry. So that it's what type of industry needs which type of training. So you have to identify the training needs. So if different industry having the different type of training, some industries are needs different set of training. So accordingly, you have to provide the training as well as prepare the training models, and as well as identify the goals and the objectives, and developing the learning activities and conducting the various trainings. And after that, once completed the training, you have to evaluate the training program for its effectiveness. If it is any shortcomings in the training program, then that has to be improved. Similarly, that whatever that you prepare the training programs, that should be matched with the jobs or tasks. Whatever the training methods you have prepared, that should be aligned with the jobs or tasks. If any deviations there in the training programs, then it should be rectified. These are the training models. Next, the safety legislations. So legislations is mainly focusing on that for violation of the safety practices. The third part of designing a good safety structure of system in the organization, suitable legislation and legal implications while implementations. During the implementation of the legal legislations, it should be obey the set up the rules and regulation of the Factory Act 1948. So without exceptions, the truly safe environment will be result of foolproof legislation and strict implementation, followed by the regular monitoring as well as the stringent actions against the violation of safety practices. So whenever that the safety practices violating the whoever, whenever, wherever that safety practice is violating. So immediately the action, stringent action should be taken. Then only that safety legislation implementation should be effective. There may be a bijli. Though there may be little variations in the legislation from the country to country, but the legislation are more less similar or same in the nature and features. There are few variations in the legislation from the country to country, but more or less there is no major difference. Very mere few differences maybe happen in the country to countries. So auditing plays an important role. So every sector's auditing is a basic requirement. This is the fourth pillar of this safety design. Good safety management in organization comprises an effective safety audit systems. Safety audit is comprehensive information collecting the mechanism with regard to safety practice being followed in the industry to confirm whether the industry is compliance with the statutory safety regulations or not. So whatever that the comprehensive information collected by the safety department regard to the safety practice, whether we have to confirm that it's followed in the industry, it's compliance with the statutory factory regulations. If any deviation there, that safety auditing committee having the power to close the industry or wind up the industry. So this is the safety auditing. These are the four pillars. Don't forget these four pillars at any time. This unit 1. You should remember these four pillars of the safety organization, safety training, safety legislation, and safety audit. So in this unit, we have some different important questions. So what is industrial safety? Why it is so important in industry? Define safety and occupational health. What is relation between these two? What are the four pillars of safety design? Briefly describe with the suitable diagram. What is safety organization? Explain the four levels of safety organization with a suitable chart. What are the various functions of safety and explain. So these are that these chapters are covers in the unit 1. So now we are going to discuss that unit 2. Unit 2, mainly the focusing on duties and responsibilities of occupier as well as managers. So the duty and responsibility obligation of occupier, factory manager, and workers means that that owners, manager, and officials, the managers, and the workers. So all three should be responsibilities, having the responsibility according to the Factory Acts 1948. Show that the duty and responsibility and obligation of occupier, manager, and workers. So this clearly mentioned in the Factory Acts 1948. What are the rule, duties, and responsibilities and obligation of this? All the three categories: the owners and managers and workers. It should be properly defined in the Factory Act 1948. So they have to follow as per the guidelines of Factory Act 1948. No other act in India has covered in all details of the functions, activities, and explanation that are required to maintain, monitor, and control the factory. So the only Factory Act 1948, you always remember Factory Acts 1948. This is the only act. It's cover that having the details of functions, activities, and explanation, which is required to maintain and monitor and control the factory. So the main idea behind the forming of Indian Factories Act was to standardize the working conditions in the factory What is the reason to framing the Indian Factory Act 1948, which is to helps to standardize the working conditions of the factories, to regulate the health, safety, welfare, leave, holidays, and also enact special provisions to respect young persons, women, and children who work in the factories. These are that they have to obey the based on the Factory Act 1948. So, in this objective of this unit 2, mainly to discuss the functions involved in the factory and establishment along with the bounds and limits. So, what are the functions involved in the factory with respect to liabilities and responsibilities, and how do we establish the factories with the bounds and limits? So, describe the duties and responsibilities of occupier, and narrate the function of occupier and manager with reference to safety, welfare, facilities, and amenities, including working hours. And appropriate function of factory manager along with the authority boundaries. And discuss the responsibility of the workers, those working in the industry. These are the objectives of this unit. Overviews of Factory Act 1948. The following some important terms defined under the Factory Act 1948. So this factory, in this unit, these are the important terms which are used in this Factory Act 1948. That's the factory, worker, prime mover, adult, child, year and month, shift, employer, process, power, machinery, adolescent, young person, week and day, relay, occupier. These are some important terminology used in this Factory Act 1948. So, occupier is according to the Section 2 Factory Act 1948 defines clearly. So, occupier is a factory means that person who has ultimate control over the affair of the factory. It's a top level management. So, the ultimate control, person having the ultimate control, ultimate power, the affair of the factory. That is called the occupier. In case of firm or other association of individuals, anyone individual partners or members thereof shall be deemed to be an occupier. If it is an individual owner, most of the industry having the trust, group of members having the ownership, even if we have any individual members or individual partners of that shall be deemed to be an occupier. In case of company, one of the directors shall be deemed to be an occupier. Even if you have the more directors in the company, one of the director can be deemed to be an occupier. That the management has to decide. In case of factory owned and controlled by the central government or any state government or any local authority, if it is a private industry, the person, the individual owner or appointed by directors by the owner can be act as the occupier. In case of government factory owned or controlled by the central government or any state government or any local authority like public sectors, in that case, the person appointed to manage the affairs to the factory by the central government or state government or the local authority shall be deemed to be an occupier. For example, in the public sectors, executive director is the ultimate power. So ED is act as the occupier. So that as government appointed by some of the government offices, the government itself they appoint the occupier of the firm or institutions or industries. So what are the various roles, duties, responsibility of occupier? The main duty of that occupier to ensure the health, safety and welfare of all workers during the during the working in the industry or factory. Also, to maintain the plant and systems of work in the factory that are safe without risk to the health of workers. It should be safe and clean environment. There is no risk during the working, a risk at any form. So that it should be ensure that by occupier. Also, it should be maintained in the plant and make the systems perfectly to maintain the safety in the industry. Also, should provide the arrangements in the factory to ensure the safety and absence of risk to connect to in health while handling, storage, transport, articles and substances. So during the various operations, should the occupier assure the health safety of the workers related to health. To provide such information, instruction, training, and supervision are necessary to ensure the health and safety of all workers at workplace. So the responsibility of occupier is provide the such and relevant information, instruction, training, and supervision to the workers related to the safety to ensure the health and safety for all the workers at the workplace. Before entering that work field, during the training period itself, they have to provide the safety training, safety instruction, safety information to all workers to ensure the health of the workers. Also, that ensure that reasonably the practicable the health, safety, and welfare of all workers that work in the factory. So without prejudice to generality to provisions of subsection 1 to matters which the such responsibility extent shall include the provision and maintenance of plant system of work the factory are safe without risks to the health. According to the subsection 1 in the Act 1948 Factory Act, it should provide the provision and maintenance of plant and systems of work in the factory that should be safe and without risk to the health. Also, they provide the same information, instruction, training, supervision to the workers to ensure the health. So, obligation of occupier. So, the obligation of, as per the Factory Act 1948, the obligation of the occupier shall include the provision and maintenance of plant and systems work in the factory are the safe and without risk to the health. So the arrangement of factory ensuring the safety and absence of risk to health in connection with the use of handling, storage, transport, articles and substances. So most of the accidents happen in the material handling and storage of materials and transport of articles or materials and substance. So during the handling of materials, so a lot of accidents happen in the industry. So that's why that the Factory Act it's ensure the safety and absence of risk during the health during the connection with the transporting of the material handlings. Also, its provisions such provide the instruction and training and supervision to the all workers. These are the obligation of occupiers. So next, that manager responsibilities. So what are the manager responsibilities in the industry related to the industrial safety? The factory managers have planned to production activities, production meetings, machine maintenance schedules, work schedules, and budget maintenance of schedules and quality products. So whether these activities may directly or may not be, but indirectly it's related to the safety of the workers or safety of the employers. The whole industrial production has to manage the factory managers to take care of all the features associated with the particular department. The safety measures have to be followed. Even if you are not for maintaining schedules, even if some workers, if you are utilizing the more working hours, so he may tired or he may be subjected to a lot of health issues. That is also one of the safety weakness. So you have to maintain the all production activities. That will be in the working hours, everything, working safety, working environment, everything should be that in that maintained in the properly. The whole industrial production has to manage the factory managers, or they have to take care of all future associated with the particular department, whether the safety measure is followed or not. There are any quality related issues, the factory managers have to find out the reasons to ensure that it should not be repeated in terms of safety. So conduct the performance reviews of employees, so that so periodically we have to conduct the review of the performance of the employees. That may helps to for avoid the safety in the industry. Also, that has to collaborate and meet with other managers of the factory and liaison with the finance department, HR department, quality control and safety department of the much significance. To ensure that receiving and shipping schedules are maintained the strict adherence to the target dates. Hello. To ensure the receiving and shipping schedules are maintained strictly adherence to the target dates. So that receiving and shipping instance, transporting schedules, it should be maintained in strict adherence to as per the required target dates. Otherwise, that profit, it affects the profits and turnovers. So that workers always abide by safety rules and associate with the industry. So workers always should obey and abide that safety rules associated with safety to avoid the unavoidable circumstances. They need to attend the scheduled corporate meetings and training on times. Then only they can implement the safety precautions in the systems. The provisions under Act 1948 can be studied under the following heads: health of workers, safety of workers, welfare of the workers. Mainly the Factory Act 1948 is focusing on health, mainly safety as well as welfare of the workers. So this also defines that penalties and procedures. The owner of any premises let out use of different factories is responsible for the provision and maintain the common facilities and services. For example, approach roads, drainage, water supply, latrine, sewage, electrical supply. So all basic necessaries to come in the premises, it's the owner has to provide. So occupier in the according to section 92 to 106 in the Factory Act 1948. Similarly, for the occupier, the most cases occupier of the factory is responsible for offences committed against the Act. But the occupier exempted from the liability if he or she can show that he or she used to diligence to enforce the execution of the Act, and some other persons committed the offence without his knowledge or consent or convenience. So the occupier has been exempted from the liability if that execution of Act that some other person committed the offence without his knowledge and consent and convenience. Section 111 lays down that no workers in the factory shall willfully interfere that or misuse any appliances or any other things provided in the factory for the purpose of securing health, safety, or welfare of the workers. So if anything misuse or appliance or any other things that happen in the industry for purpose of securing health and safety and welfare, though this welfare of the workers in the factory itself, shall willfully and without reasonable cause do anything likely endanger of himself or others, and shall willfully neglect the make use of any appliance or other things provided in the factory for the purpose of securing health or safety of the workers therein, that should be punishable in the factory. It should be the penalty should be provided in the factories. So this units is mainly focusing on this duties and responsibilities of occupier and factory managers. Mainly this the function of factory establishment of the bounds and limits, duties and responsibility of occupier, and function of occupier and manager with reference to safety, welfare, facilities and amenities, including working hours, appropriate functions of the factory manager along with the authority boundaries, discuss the responsibility of the workers. These are the major objectives of this unit. This unit is mainly focusing on the function of occupier, manager, and workers. The duties and responsibilities of managers, occupier, and workers. And also, it's mainly focusing on the Factory Act 1948. It's concentrating on mainly on health, safety, and welfare of workers. There are various penalties and procedures for those who are not providing the basic needs or basic facilities. As per the Industrial Act 1948, the penalty has to put on that industry. So, the industry has to pay the penalties if the basic necessity, basic facilities, if they are not provided in the industries, according to the section 92 to 106. Similarly, for that basic facilities not provided in the industry, should according to section 111, that in the industry has to pay the penalty for lack of providing the health and safety and welfare of the workers. So in this units, it's mainly that important questions are define the terms of factory, manufacturing process, and working hour according to the Factory 1948 and explain them. Brief history of establishment Factory of 1948 in India. Who is the occupier according to the Factory Act 1948? Explain the concept of occupier very clearly. What is the general responsibility of occupier according to the Factory Act 1948? Enumerate the duties on occupier according to the Factory Act 1948. So in this unit, it covers the basic and fundamental of Factory Act 1948. If you know thoroughly the Factory Act 1948, so you can answer the all questions in the all the units, even all blocks. So you have to learn what is Factory Act 1948, what are the sections on the Factory Act 1948, each and every section, what is the deals in related to the industrial safety. So once if you well known or thoroughly learn in this Factory Act 1948, you are completed this course. That's all. So because all the units is basically based on this Factory Act 1948 only. So better that go through that deeply. What is Factory Act 1948? You may refer that any books available, other books available in the market also for Factory Act 1948. You can search the topics in Google also. You can go through it, and even some Factory Acts 1948, some specific books also there. You can go through that also. Even our material is sufficient for learn. If you want to learn more, you can go through that Factory Act 1948 manuals or books or modules. Learners, just you can send that your basic brief biodata to me for helping each other. Send through the probably sent. This is my address for communication. You know this my email is ktman@igno.ac.in. You send that small brief profile. You note it. This simple, just name, enroll number, which program you are doing, what's your qualification, where you are working, and your address, email, basic information only provide. You note my address. You can send that any queries. Probably, preferably for mail is comfort. If it is an essential emergency, you can send through the WhatsApp. No issue. Now today we have discussed the unit unit 1, 2, and 3, 4. Block 1, 2, 3, 4. We have discussed unit 1 and 2. We have discussed, right? Okay. Next we can discuss the unit 3 and 4 next class. So any queries you can send that mail if you have any queries. Because I'm not in the subject expert, just I'm giving the outlines. Any queries you can send through the mail also. You can send through mail also. Okay, we'll meet another next class in the unit 3 and 4.
सर मटेरियल हार्ड कॉपी अभी तक नहीं आया है, कब तक आप आएगा?
Hard copy will not be provided this course. This only soft copy will be provided. Okay, thanks for listening. I have another class at 1 o'clock.